Hey, I'm Jimmy Tramel with the Tulsa World. I'm an entertainment writer in a scene department. I'm joined by the planning editor at the New York Times, Josh Crutchmer, an Oklahoma native from Okmulgee, Oklahoma State University graduate, and the authority when it comes to people who write about red dirt music. Um, Man, we're all just blown away by what's going to take place in Stillwater here in a few days. For those red dirt bands to sell out 4 shows in 4 days, uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your shock that that could happen? Those bands would sell out 4 shows in 4 days.
It's even on a scale of 1 to 10, that shock is in the hundreds. And I don't think I just speak for myself because when you go back to October when those tickets went on sale, success was 30,000 tickets in one night. Nobody envisioned 180,000 over four. It really forced us all, and I say everybody that would be considered part of the inner circles of red dirt to reassess just exactly how far we've come because it's a long way. And I'm still blown away, even though we're inside of 10 days. And I think everybody playing is, still pinching themselves too.
Yeah, I mean, you were there on campus when these bands, many of these bands were uh, gathering. You were on the ground floor of these bands, right?
Yeah, I just happened to be very, very, very fortunate with my timing because I was at Oklahoma State University when you could go down the street from campus to the old Wormy Dog Saloon, and on a Monday night you could see Jason Boland play no cover. On a Tuesday night, Cody Canada would play for no cover. On a Wednesday night, Tony LaRue would do the same, and then they would all go play other places around campus too. And I mean, obviously, looking back on it, it was lightning in a bottle, but at the time, it just seemed, really fun. It gave us something that we felt was special to Stillwater, and we knew what red dirt music was, but we just kind of thought of it as our little college scene and not much more. So I just happened to be there at the exact right place at the exact right time, and I'm sure a few dozen journalists that went to Oklahoma State before or after that would have done the same thing if they were in the position that I ended up being in.
What is the appeal of red dirt music? Why do people embrace it?
It's a precursor to what you're seeing in the larger sense of country music post Zach Bryan. Um, it's very relatable in the songwriting, but the music is also something that is just quite moving. The songwriting for Red Dirt originally appealed to us all in Stillwater because it just made us feel like it was about Oklahoma, and that's carried on to this day. Not just with Ragweed and Bolin, but if you hear the Turnpike Troubadours play a song, you're hearing Oklahoma, and we felt that back in the early 2000s when it was a much smaller scene, and I think that appeal has stuck around. It's just grown. It's sort of compounded itself exponentially so that it doesn't matter if Wyatt Flores is playing at Kane's Ballroom or playing in Australia, he's singing about Oklahoma and people can't get enough of it.
Hmm. All these years later, from the time you saw these bands in Wormy Dog, it feels like Red Dirt is having a moment, or maybe is resurgence the right word?
Well, I mean, I think it probably is a resurgence, although if you think about the highest height that Cross Canadian Ragweed had, they had a little bit of a top 40 hit with Fighting For. I think it might have hit 39. And they did play the Houston Rodeo, and they did certainly fill up Lone Star Park in Grand Prairie, but those all felt like big one-time events, and the scene is just sustaining itself now that way. Turnpike Troubadours are an arena band. Um, Wyatt Flores is about to headline Calf Fry for the first time. That draws thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of people to Stillwater. Even if you take the Boys from Oklahoma concerts and put them aside, Red Dirt's never been more popular on a really on a global scale, and there are so many factors that go into play, but certainly one of the big ones is the um, enduring popularity turned musical legend that surrounds ragweed.
Mm. Knowing what you know, being in on the ground floor, you think these guys were ever going to get back together?
No, I didn't. I honestly did not. Um, I was really, really, really like, here's how surprised I was when I found out. I was at a festival last summer that it was Braun Brothers reunion in Idaho. I wrote about that in Motel Cowboy show a couple of years ago. That book. But this past summer, this past August, I was there, and I just happened to be sitting next to Shannon Canada, who is not just the wife of Ragweed frontman Cody Canada, but she also manages the band. And we're sitting on this since the festival takes place in a field, and we're sitting on a blanket, and she just taps me on the shoulder, and she goes, "Hey, Crutch, he's doing it." And I was so not expecting it to be Ragweed reuniting that I honestly thought she meant like, he's going back to the bus to get a drink or to grab some water for us. Like, in my head, it just didn't compute. And it took like a full 5 minutes of watching the music before it dawned on me what she meant. And I did like a sitcom sort of double take, just eyes just super wide. And once I gathered myself, I just kind of looked at her and I said, "Well, you know, that's going to be my story, right?" And she goes, "Yeah, I know." And that's how I found out. I found out it was such a far flung idea that when I was being handed this super secret news, I didn't even know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Especially because last February I had a story that ended up in Rolling Stone that featured Cody Canada saying a reunion wouldn't happen. But you know, it's a testament to a band that's all now grown up. Most of them have kids who are also musicians, and they're all in their 40s, not in their 20s and 30s, and everyone just once they talked to each other and realized how far everybody had come in their own lives, it wasn't it was no longer a matter of if there was going to be a reunion happening. It was when, because they really brought back the feeling they had when they were playing those Stillwater clubs and Tulsa clubs back in the late 90s.